of the sea is very, very uncontrolled. There may be other system. I am talking about the way that Sri Lankan fishermen are doing. They have to cut through the waves and go into. So pushing the wave, pushing the boat may be doing by 8 to 10 people. And then only 2 people climbing into the boat and start rowing. Because wave after wave is coming. And after a while, when you cut through few waves, the waves are not so rugged. So with little effort, you can go into the water. I'm not talking about the boat with outboard motor. I'm talking about the rowing. In the middle of the sea, there are no breaking of the waves. Waves are there up and down. And then you can go on. So these are the examples given in the effort. At the beginning, to come to a retreat like this, so much of training, so much of effort you need, so much of planning you need, so much of things you have to organize and leave the household and come here. And when you are coming, you see, I am not the only person. There are a lot of other people. They have done the same thing. And they come here. And then we see here as meditators, each and every one of us have done such a great thing to maybe temporary to leave the household life. The most difficult part. We brown color people, we have done it permanently. So punishment is shave the head. So you have nothing to do like that. And living in a monastery, living in a 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day without the dinner is kind of a effort. Because no one is pushing you. You are the person with your will and wish doing it. There in Buddhism, it is called leaving the Kamaloka or sensuous world and go to a forest. Sit under a tree or come to a place like this with the same desire. There's no sensuous desire, nothing. But we have the desire to have peace of mind or purification of the mind. So that needs so much. Classic example given by the Buddha. Imagine a very old, very poor couple, and they have a just hut made out of pecan. I don't know whether you have seen coconut palm leaves. Palm leaves we weave in such a way, and the roof also with the thatched coconut palm leaves, and the sides also the same. It is so worn out. The walls are broken. A crow can come from here to the other end without distraction because all the walls are worn out and the roof is leaking and floor is just mud and couple is living there. Tonight they have one little green grain. They have to boil it and eat it and sleep. Tomorrow they have to earn. For that they have a worn out sickle. You know, sickle, the cutting grass. I don't know, I'm using very traditional terms. And it's also worn out. And the wife also very old. House also very old. There's nothing earned. Even for that old man, difficult to renounce for that house. Difficult to renounce that old lady. Difficult to renounce that worn out sickle. Imagine about a young person renouncing with all the facilities, and that is given as the biggest effort. So no economist can give a definition for that. No socialist theory can give a definition for that. No politician can give a definition for that. Renounce. Read any book on the earth. No one is promoting it. In that sense, we are mad, mad, mad people. We have kind of a desire, leave aside and come back. Because when we are coming to a forest or under a tree or a blank place like this, Shunyagara, there's nothing promoting your eyesight. No exciting things, no exciting visual objects. Things are there, but nothing to take pictures and look at again and again and put wall pictures. This is very common. And the sounds, birds are very beautiful. They are singing without a listener. When we have a good professional singers, they must have big audience to listen. Otherwise, very difficult to afford. But this is the best music, not aiming at the listener. We can listen. And the best air, full of oxygen. One person can experience acres of land of trees. We are not breathing someone's the out-breath, fresh air. Enormous. Now to China, people are exporting good air from Stonehenge in UK. Compressed air, 1 kilo of air is so much of a cost. Because of industrial revolution, atmosphere is polluted. And the water, the places like this, we have very natural water. And the postures, we can have all the 4 postures what we need. So this is very, very luxurious from the spiritual point of view. But people, they are happy villages than the forest. And towns than villages. Capitals than towns. That is how they are going. That is of the indulgence, of the sensuous indulgence of your organs. And they think it is natural. Industrialization pull people from the village to the towns. You can see big condominiums and water systems and lighting system and cleaning system and so much. But the Buddha says this something like operation theater, the forest. That's the best place for brain operation, best place for meditation. Because the operation theater must be qualified one according to the grade of the operation. So this is the best. But we call it is aboriginal, living in the forest. So this kind of a renouncing from the sensuous seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and come to a place is the most difficult part. That is because I wanted to be with myself. Just be here and now. And even after renouncing, if you wish to be here and now, it's not a simple task. Mind is distracted to the past, the future, other places, and what you renounce and what I'm going to do next, and all the kind of thing. So for that, you need some effort. You have the facility, you have the condition, but therefore, so much of postures would recommended you come and sit, close your eyes, and entertain that renunciation, and be with yourself. Be here and now. And if you are sitting 1 hour, how much of time you can be with your simple breathing? If you are walking, how many steps you can walk before wandering mind, your daydreaming, fantasizing. And there you can understand, even if you have selected your object, even if you have prepared mind, even if you have diligence, how difficult. Imagine that you are keep on practicing. One day, you may report I can keep my breath. I can keep on do breath meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Likewise, after a while, the breath become your at-home sign. You are with the breath. There, then only then you can see when you keep on track with the breath, what happened to the breath in the first minute, the second minute, the third minute, fourth minute, fifth minute, is the same breath. Or is there any evolution or metamorphosis, changing? So much of changes happens. But if you can only be with one breath for 1 second, very difficult to see breath-to-breath changes. So that kind of analytical approach or penetration you can do in two ways whenever you are in a residential retreat. Just see, if possible, if the breath becomes face-to-face with or familiar, but the difference between the in-breath and out-breath, drastic differences. In-breath means gushing air inside, out-breath is outside. Or together with there may be rising and falling of your tummy or tension. That's also very drastic. Pressure increasing and releasing. In-breath and out-breath. So you would have done it for years, but never given that kind of a discriminative understanding, because first and foremost, you have to be face to face with the breath. That all the 10 minutes, you are completely cut off from the sensuous world. If you can report that I can be with the breath for 10 minutes, that means throughout that 10 minutes, your eyes are silent, ears are silent, nose, no other olfactory sensation but the breathing, and the tongue is silent, body is silent. Then only then you can report, I can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then you are supposed to see how is the evolution of the breath. How, when you keep on practicing, what will happen to the breath. But your rational mind it is not happy with changing nature of the mind. It wishes to see the breath continuously, just like a wall picture. But that is not the case. Breath is changing. I will repeat with the crux of what I already said. Whenever your mind with the breath, you are cut off with the sensuous world. Or sensory inputs are cut off. Only one thing, that is the in-breath and out-breath. That's also sensory, of course. But it is neutral, it is repetitive, it is not attractive. So you keep on practicing, and whenever you become familiar with the breath, maybe 10, 20 minutes, then you can see that breath is teaching you something, breath is explaining something, that is breath to breath changes are there. First, you may see the in-breath to out-breath changes, then to in-breath changes, out-breath to out-breath changes. And then there are some patterns. Just like sea waves, some waves are very rugged. Some waves are naturally calm. Likewise, the breath also having patterns. At the beginning, you see the shape of the waves. And then when you keep on practicing, you're about to see patterns. And these patterns are beyond your self-wish or will or volitional activities. It is somewhat related with your emotions. Gross breath becomes subtle breath becomes subtlest. Automatically. Again, the subtlest breath becomes subtle and then become gross. If you are not aware of it, if you are not deductive without the deductive knowledge, you will think the breath becomes subtle, gross because of a lack of mindfulness. Breath becomes gross because of lack of concentration or lack of your moral restraint. And after a long time only you will understand breath is having morning to evening patterns and the seasonal patterns, your sicknesses, everything. So there are uh, natural patterns. And one day you will see, you can see the body without the breath. Rational mind can't imagine. You feel breath is completely disappeared. And if you are not with the theoretical understanding, you will get excited. And you will run to a doctor or psychiatrist. Tell what happened to the breath. But after all, again, it is starting slowly, just like the waning sun and the waxing sun, moon, disappearing and appearing, disappearing and appearing. So, first of all, you take the breath as the pivotal point in order to get rid of this sensuous world. We call it the household life. Whenever you come to the breath, you take this as a pivot. But if you are with the insight, if you have wisdom restraint, you can see that pivot itself is changing. The object that you have taken as the pivotal point also changing, and our mind very my mind becomes unhappy because that is the pivotal point you have taken, that is also changing. Therefore, beginners never report that. They think it is my mistake. It's something like a mishap. Therefore, teachers and instructors, they say, just you tell what did you see. Don't try to expect, don't try to fabricate, don't try to edit your example, just tell. And then one day you see the breath become your pivotal point in order to get rid of other seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And now breath also changing. Sometimes it goes to almost no breath left. And don't do force breathing. Just wait. And again the breath will start. Again, that is happening in a cyclic pattern. Like a big round, and inside there's a lot of small rounds, like when you cut off uh, an onion. Outer layer is very big, and inside there are a lot of other small circles. So whenever you try to observe it, now you are not simply looking at the breath. You see the characteristics of the breath, how it has become gross and subtle. And as the gross breath become gross, some people become happy, some people not happy. When the breath becomes subtle, some people get excited and uh, they are not happy. And some of the community happy, liking and disliking. Happiness and unhappiness is a breath is changing. We have already prepared value system for the changing breath. And when you are expressing your experience as well as your liking and disliking, some of the meditators will happy with you. Others will say, no, my value system is different. When the breath become gross, I am happy, but I don't like subtle breath. Some others say, no, subtle breath is a very advanced meditation. So when you are developing the subtle breath, I am very happy to facilitate it. So likewise, we have these natural things happen without your ego, without yourself, without your volition, without your wish. But you have some value system to say it is desirable, undesirable, happy and unhappy, liking and disliking. Who put that value into your brain? Who script? We think that is my value system is the whole world. Through that only you see the world. But in a discussion, if someone says subtle breath is better than gross breath, the other will say, what nonsense you are talking. The subtle breath is, I am get lost. I am get outcasted. I feel complex. I like gross breath. So there you can understand we are coming from different cultures, different upbringing, and we have our own value system. So to go up to that very deep layer at the beginning, to renounce the household life and come to then be with the breath and see the breath is disappearing and kind of thing, the to see without liking and disliking, without uh, good and bad, no any amount of effort is necessary. Their effort must be zero. But with the renouncement and coming here and everything, so much of effort you have to put forth. And that is how effort is evolving in your path of enlightenment in 9 places. There are 37 factors of enlightenment, and they are effort appearing 9 places. This is the most frequent mental concomitant in the teaching of the Buddha. And Asiatic people says Western Buddhists are happy to get enlightened effortlessly. They want to have quick enlightenment. They are asking quick method to go quick enlightenment. But the Asiatic people, they have self-mortification and they are putting forth so much of effort, gain nothing. Even Buddha to be, Siddhartha, the ascetic, had 6 years. Duskara Kriya, that means the not eating, not bathing, not brushing teeth, and living in the forest, sometimes without clothes, all the kind of thing put forth, but ultimately end up with nothing. So these are the different methods. In the yogis, some people are happy to go to the Nibbana with all the facilities and air conditioning and no mosquitoes, no flies, no rain, and they want to do maximum facilities. Otherwise, they say, I can't maintain. And some people say, what the hell? That is not meditation. You have to go to the forest, live with the mosquitoes and live in the rain situation and without food and all the kind of thing. So much of ways and means and teachers and techniques and all the kind of. So imagine the beginner completely bewildered. Well, he's with no experience. Even if you have experience, as far as the effort is concerned, the very beginning of your sitting and after 45 minutes, 50 minutes, the change just happens. So dramatic, so unpredictable. Our mind is not happy. It is always have a premeditated idea. Next thing must be this. Next thing must be this. Because you have read more than enough scriptures. I am very sorry to say. You know too much. You are not the beginner. And very difficult to unlearn. Very difficult to deconstruct. So therefore, to understand the effort, not only the understanding effort, but even the livelihood, you must develop the beginner's mind, very humble. Be prepared for anything. And whenever the effort necessary, you are ready to put forth. And whenever things are happening in the automatic way or autopiloting way, you just withdraw yourself and just see what is happening. If it is good, well and good. Let it happen. And likewise, your evolution of your ego, the evolution of your egocentric thinking and your set pattern and your script is the hardest part. As far as you are putting forth energy, that means you have motivation. Without motivation, you can't put forth energy. So today, education system is completely going something wrong. There's one author in America, he wrote Kohlberg, he wrote Hidden Curriculum and Moral Education. Socializing children, very young children, 35 children in the same room and teaching the same subject, and then regimenting, giving prizes and punishments. Ultimately, they take this as the norm. They don't know who am I. They do not know the present moment. They are not ready to accept what is happening. So they can't understand the changing nature. They are always protesting. No, 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 no. It must be conservative or democratic or communist or capitalistic. So you have so much of sectarianism, so much of divisions. But the human mind is the same. It is because that mind is not ready for changing nature that the first signata out of three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means impermanent, changing nature. So in the household life, you have to have a fixed deposit, fixed property, fixed wife, fixed husband, fixed passport, and fixed bank account. That's what we are. But once you renounce, the food is the same. You go in the queue and serve what is you deserve and have it. And the beddings are the same. If you go to Sri Lanka, everyone is wearing white clothes. Whenever they are going to go to the temples or the retreats, white clothes, that is to come up to the common ground. And even they, if you are wearing white clothes and eating from the same pot and the same plate, bring the mind to the mind here and now is utterly a task. It's not easy. These are the conditions. But when you come up to that level, breath becomes your treasure. When it is disappearing, that becomes subtle. That becomes subtlest, you'll be desperate about. Sometimes you feel boring. You feel monotonous and feel like sleeping. Leave aside sleeping in the sitting position. Sometimes while you are doing walking meditation, you feel sleepy. Because you are doing the same thing again and again. And I had one friend, he went to Middle East. He was a heavy equipment operator. So he has to wait and see if the ship is coming, he has to operate the machines. If it is not there, they are just on the, just observing. If the supervisor has to come and tell that they have to go there, otherwise they have to wait at the dockyard. So he used to go there and sit and meditate. The supervisor is observing when the people is available. You can stand by in only, stand by. And while he was meditating, supervisor came and asked, where did you learn that sitting and sleeping? What are you doing here? You sit and sleep. So he wrote to me telling Bhante, they have not never heard, if they have not seen even the statue of the Buddha, just sit. Sometimes, of course, your neck will be slimy and you feel like slack. Sleepiness can happen. Same thing can happen in walking meditation also. Specifically, when you are walking backward, you see you are taken to the left side or right side, you don't know. You hit something, then only you know you're not walking in a straight line. So even in the walking that happens. When you are brushing teeth, mindfully, you can see at the beginning you have to get the toothpaste and the brush and you have to keep on brushing. After a while, everything happening automatically. So if you see, mind is adopting to this autopiloting mode. And the best thing is you can see in sitting meditation and the evolving thing, the changing thing, Our mind hates it because we are trained to be monotonous in one object and just focusing. And that is we call samatha bhavana, concentration meditation. It is a must. At the beginning, you have to develop it. But once you develop it, then you have to make your mind ready that particular pivot, that particular benchmark, that particular pivotal point also evolve. So whenever you are ready to see it, you see it is not the object is evolving, your mind is evolving. When the mind is with the sectarianism and liking and disliking and desire and undesire, it's very, very active. When the object is the same, it is repetitive, they need no any discrimination, need no any kind of a decision. Ultimately, you feel the object is disappearing. What is disappearing is yourself, your ego, your self-centered, egocentric idea, but the things are happening. So how to facilitate it? How to promote it? No education can teach that. Education is something good for materialistic gain, but here it is developing. So therefore, Samma Vayama, the correct effort, is very, very complicated thing. At the beginning, you have to put forth so much of energy. And when the things are going to happen by itself, you have to slowly withdraw yourself and let the thing happen. But vigilance must be there. You must be vigilant. So when you are meditating with the brainwave starter, the theta wave, some people says calming down, some people says active side, activation is happening. So very difficult to interpret. Because if you are ready to see the disappearing thing and still you are awake, there's a huge amount of uh, catalytic effect happening, and you are not distracted, you are not fighting, you just see everything is disappearing, but my alertness, my vigilance, my diligence is increasing. In neuroscience, if I got the point correctly, when you are engaged with outside things and sectarianism and one-upmanship and egotistic ideas, your brain is working only 2%. Other 90% never works. But there is no decision taken. Everything is happening from the effort to the effortless situation. Whole brain going to start. And that is not belongs to you. That's a human right. If you engage in decision making and discrimination and one-upmanship and egotism, very little amount of brain is working. The joke is, in time to come, there may be some brain transplanting, just like the heart transplanting. At our parents' time, it was miraculous. Now it is happening. It says, if you happen to transplant the brain and if you have to select, please select politician's brain. Never used. Brand name. They're always working with the secretary and the other person and kind of thing. They never use. So if you wish to, if your brain ruined and if you are going to have a choice, please select a politician brain because they never think about the spirituality. They never thinking about the evolving nature. They know how to gain grounds in difficult situations. So if you wish to be a human, you have to start with energy and let that process slowly gain the ground and they are slowly withdraw and then see, but vigilance must be there. And there you can see everything is happening in a very smooth way. But the thing is, our mind is not happy to just see. That just seeing is what you call insight, vipassana. Because you are looking inward, not outwardly. All the other sciences are extrovert. We can see from the telescope and microscope, everything object outside. But to once focus inside, these are the changes happen. And when this evolution takes place, the effort, Vayama, or the energy part, evolving very fast. At the beginning, just like starting a diesel engine, you have to put a crank and turn, and once started, it gathered momentum with the flywheel. So likewise, it says, if you wish to go deep into the spirituality, go in the young age. Then you can have the benefits for a long time. But if you go to a meditation center, you may see so much of all crooks. Because maybe due to the fear. So imagine a young boy or girl giving this effort and gaining this kind of thing. What a kind of life. One day there had been a Montessori class. You know Montessori, that kindergarten pre-education class. And the teacher was given instruction about this mindful school. And she has mentioned that we have a new exercise today. We are going to close our eyes and just see what you can see. And 27 girls. And there was a very beautiful girl. And after 5 minutes, she told, I see nothing. And the teacher told she would have get the basic instruction. And next day also, are you happy to do the same game today? Yes. And observe that with the lady, she is nicely sitting and waiting. And once you get up, after the 5 minutes, what did you see? Nothing. And then teacher took the girl and told, when there is nothing, can you see the breath? I will try. I never tried. You just see what is happening, but you're asking now when there's nothing just to see the breath. And next day, she tried, and teacher got and asked, did you see the breath? Yes. Our teacher was very happy. And then whatever, it became nothing. Oh, that is very good. That is what I told you last 2 days, but you can't understand it. I see nothing. Teacher wanted to see the breath, and then breath become nothing. But right from the beginning, she sees nothing. So when you are working with young children, they are giving the message or they are learning in such a way, it is a kind of a challenge for we all people. Of course, we are making some methods and devices just to cross the message, just to cross the instruction. But once you gain it, so sharp. So you have to be a beginner's mind. You have to be just start with nothing, no assumption, no premeditated ideas, no scriptures can come and distract you. Do the same thing 1,001 times. If such a thing happen, you can understand that what is happening very difficult to put into a theory. Very difficult to explain under the term of effort. Because at the beginning, huge effort. And ultimately, it is slowly reducing. But to synchronize your thinking or synchronize yourself just to let it happen rather than doing. And next day, again, when you start, huge amount of energy is necessary, demanding. And again, you see, same pattern is happening. So number of days and thousands of times it happens, train your mind and change your brain habits. You go prepared, grossness can happen, subtleness can happen, liking can happen, dislike can happen, desire can happen, undesirable situation can happen. These are some kind of friction on the path. Just be aware. Three choices to be aware. And whenever necessary, you have to put forth energy. If it is not so, you know the art of withdrawal. And then you see things are happening. Parallel to the Buddha, there was that Chinese master, and he invented Taoism, just merging with the nature. You just be with the nature, and the nature is the most powerful. These things are happening, you just go with the nature. But the beauty of the Buddha is he's teaching us systematically how the effort is reducing as it going on. Arambha dhatu, nikkama dhatu, parakkama dhatu. Arambha dhatu means the initial launching energy. Nikkama dhatu means and how to sustain it. Parakkama dhatu is let things happen without any effort, and that is the best. The best example given by the Burmese master, he told when the Saturn V rocket is going to go to the moon, just to raise the rocket for 6 miles to against the gravity, it is burning more than 80% of fuel. Just to go. And then it is going perpendicular. And then it is leaning and rotating around the Earth 6 miles away in the orbit. It is burning only very little energy because no gravity. The force is there, then it is in the orbit. And then in the proper place, if it is firing a rocket to go to the moon, no energy necessary. There's no friction. Slowly going. And the effort is necessary in landing. It's very, very precious. Because for the first time, they don't know whether there's an atmosphere or not. It's a landing happen. The more dangerous thing is when the shuttle, only the shuttle is coming back, not the rockets. When it is re-entering the atmosphere, it has to be calibrated into 100th decimal. Otherwise, it will come and burst to the air. If it is parallel, it will push off. So it is calculating with the 100th decimal and slowly entering into the thin atmosphere in the outer. And then after so much of rotating only, it is come back to the heavy atmosphere. So that is the example when you go back home. Don't suddenly go home because you will fight with your family members. They are shouting and they are not calm and they are not mindful and they are slamming the doors and they are washing dishes very fast and talking. And you will be a nuisance for them. You have to get into that very slowly back into your normal atmosphere. Again, you have to renounce and come back here and practice another 7 days and again go back. So likewise, when happening, the evolution, how to work with these people with so much of desires and sensual desires. And we also was in the same full membership. And then when we come here, we take the breath as the most precious thing. And once we develop the breath, that breath also disappears. And then we are training into that. Again, the gross breath happens, subtle breath happens, again happen. And then again, when you go home, you have to adopt into visual, sounds, thoughts, smells, taste. And there again, you have a different equilibrium. So likewise, we have such a capacity to adopt into. But if you are with preconceived ideas, you say you are not a meditator, you are not restraining yourself, therefore I can't associate with you. No, it is not so. Out of the enlightenment, Buddha went to the normal people. There's one book called Thus Spake Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. If you read the first chapter, it explains such a sage living in the forest, and he decided to go to the fish market. And then how the events happening. So therefore, effort is, we are going to from the effort to the effortless level. Again, you have to come back to the same thing. Again, you have to go to the effortless. Again, you come to the effort. So when it is happening, This is the evolution happening in the individual basis. So therefore, we are doing an experiment, which we call noble quest, noble experiment, and we can't follow anyone. If you copy, you will fail. Don't copy. Develop your own method. Walk forward and walk backward. Walk open eye and walk closed eye. Which one is promoting your mindfulness? And that is what you have to teach others, if you are. So therefore, the way the Buddha explained it is quite human, quite organic system. But in the meditation centers and the scripts and the different traditions, they are very hard and fast with the blinker. They say this is the method. Then fighting. You go and try, no harm. But you must go with open heart, open-minded. You must go with the vigilance and diligence, choiceless awareness, and then you see the adaptability. And the last thing I would like to share with you all, you may have some guilt, telling that I have not led the spiritual life, I have harmed people. The wrong side of effort is killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. Only three things. So definitely would have committed. But one day you will prove whatever the commitment you have, it is not distracting you to be mindful. You can come to the present moment, whatever your criminal history. So therefore, don't look down other people who have committed. Just tell, point blank, just try to be mindful and forgive and forget. And there you can see these are the people catch this message very fast. I find very difficult to teach this into the Buddhists. There are so much skills. Whatever simple thing given is no. That book is telling something other, this book is telling something other, this master is that thing. Things are changing. So today talk is basically on the effort. So with respect to many mental concomitants we can develop. But the main thing is practice. More than tons of book knowledge, 1 ounce of practice is valuable. And we are slowly training it. We are capable. We can do it. Hope at the end of this retreat, you will appreciate yourself. You will love yourself. You will be more compassionate yourself. You will be happy in here and now, considering this as a birthright. Thank you very much for listening.